Live BTS reunion. Jungkook, Taehyung, Jimin, and RM moments that made ARMY cry. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because what we're about to unravel is more than just a reunion. It's a wave of emotion, truth, and history in the making. So get comfortable. What if I told you that behind the smiles, jokes, and shared microphones, there was a story that could break your heart? This is not just a reunion. This is a reminder of why BTS became everything to ARMY. It all began during a seemingly ordinary live stream. No fancy backdrop. No loud announcement. Just four of them, Jungkook, Taehyung, Jimin, and RM, sitting together, their faces lit with a kind of joy that only comes from reunion after separation. The moment was casual, but for true fans, it was an earthquake of emotions. Jungkook, ever the golden maknae, couldn't stop smiling. His eyes darted constantly to Taehyung, whose deep laughter filled the room like a melody lost in time. RM, with his usual calm and grounding presence, spoke like a proud father, watching his younger brothers rediscover their rhythm. Jimin, always the emotional core, teared up in a quiet moment, and that right there was when ARMY knew this wasn't just for show. This was real. Raw. Unfiltered. But rewind for a second. Do you remember the months of silence? When each member began going their own way, solo albums, military enlistments, sporadic appearances. The fandom was supportive, of course. We always are. But it felt like watching a constellation scatter across the sky, each star burning bright but alone. Fans feared they'd never see BTS truly together again. Not like this. And yet, in this moment, the universe realigned. What sparked it? That's where things get even more emotional. According to insider whispers, it wasn't just timing. It was something deeper, something that began with a message from Jungkook. Behind the scenes, while preparing his solo schedule, Jungkook had reached out to the members, particularly Taehyung. He admitted, in his words, that he missed feeling whole. That no matter how massive his solo career became, something felt empty. And that emptiness? It had a name. It was spelled BTS. Jungkook confessed during the live that he kept watching old footage of their debut days, secretly. I stayed up all night, he said softly, just watching us laugh. Dance. Dream. I missed that version of us. That confession opened the floodgates. Taehyung, whose stoic elegance often hides a river of emotion, was the first to speak up. I thought I was the only one, he said, his voice barely audible. He admitted that during lonely nights, even the success of Layover didn't fill the silence he felt without the others. I didn't know how much I needed this, he said, holding back tears. At that moment, ARMY across the globe started flooding the live chat. Messages of "We're crying," "This is healing," "OT7 forever" echoed in hundreds of languages, from Seoul to Sao Paulo. This wasn't just nostalgia. This was spiritual. Then came a moment no one saw coming. RM reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded, worn-out piece of paper. I wrote this the night we announced our temporary break, he said. I never read it out loud until now. His voice trembled. I feared we'd become strangers. I feared time would change us, not for better, but for distance. But tonight, hearing Jungkook say he missed us, hearing Tae say it too, I realized something. We never left. Not really. Jimin was already crying. And just like that, silence. No one spoke. Not even the chat. For a full 10 seconds, there was only breathing, heavy, emotional, cathartic. How often do you witness world stars, idols, strip themselves down to the fragile humans underneath? But then, Jungkook stood up. He walked over to Taehyung, pulled him into a hug, and whispered something into his ear. Taehyung nodded, closed his eyes, and smiled. He told me we're stronger now, because we broke apart. And suddenly, what began as a casual get-together became a resurrection. The livestream didn't need flashy choreography or booming lights. All it needed was truth. And that's what BTS gave, truth wrapped in vulnerability. The emotional climax came when they played a short clip RM had saved on his phone. A behind-the-scenes video from 2015. 7 boys crammed into a dressing room, laughing over a spilled drink, joking in between practice sessions. You could hear Namjoon whisper in the video, "Even if we go separate ways someday, let's find a way back." Back then, no one noticed that line. But today, it hit like thunder. And in that moment, ARMY cried. Because this wasn't just about BTS reuniting. It was about hope. About time healing wounds. About how love, real love, doesn't fade in distance or silence. It just waits, patiently. And if you think that's the end, you're wrong. Because just when we thought the night couldn't go any deeper, something happened next that had fans screaming across time zones. The screen flickered for a moment. The live stream glitched briefly, just enough to build suspense. Viewers were typing frantically. What's happening? Did it end? No, don't go. And then it happened. Yoongi's voice. From off-camera. Just a simple line. Am I too late? And the room exploded. The chat flooded with heart emojis, crying gifs, and fans yelling, Min Yoongi? Yes, Suga had entered. Though he was recovering from surgery and currently on break from official appearances, he couldn't stay away. As the camera adjusted, Yoongi stepped into frame, dressed simply, cap low, but with that unmistakable smirk. And when he saw the four together again, he just sighed and said, "It feels like coming home." Jimin ran to him first, hugging him tightly. Then Taehyung, then Jungkook. Even RM stood up, eyes moist with the weight of the moment. There was something sacred about that instant. BTS was never just a band. It was a brotherhood forged in fire, one that survived the terrifying chaos of debut days, the near disbandment after Wings, the whirlwind fame that followed Dynamite, and the personal storms in between. Yoongi took a seat, adjusting his shoulder gingerly. He looked into the camera, and his tone shifted, more serious, more reflective. You guys only see the stage, the awards, the lights. But what you don't always see is how much we need each other to breathe. He paused. I almost forgot what that felt like. Suddenly, the air turned electric. Jungkook leaned in and asked the question every ARMY had been afraid to ask. Do you think we'll all stand on one stage again? If this touched you as deeply as it touched millions around the world, drop a like in the comments below. What moment made you cry during the live? What are you most excited for when all 7 reunite again? And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more deeply emotional, beautifully crafted BTS stories. Because their story is also ours. Until next time, keep the faith, and always remember,